50-50 in our household is, first of all, let's say I have 20 to 50 responsibilities.
Right.
And my wife have 20 to 50 responsibilities. And when I say that, that means she has a mother, she has her sisters, she has her dad, she has a lot of things that she's responsible for.
Right.
You know what she does?
Right.
She pays 100% of that.
Right.
You know what I do? I pay 100% of my life. When our life come together, my wife is a working actress
Right.
who spends time away from the family to go work,
Do our job.
build.
Right.
We decided together, because I think I said one time we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, you will never say that to me again when it's something that we share. And so my wife was like, that when we moved to LA, I got half on it. You will never say my house again.
Wow.
She said, you can say that in the arena. And so in our life, our home, 50-50, we purchased it together.
Right.
Our daughter, anything that goes on with our daughter, 50-50, we share it together. Now, it's some things I pick up or some things she pick up, but she does something I do something.
Right.
If we take a yacht trip, we could do it 50-50, or I can do it myself. But my wife is a working woman.
Right.
She's a boss and an independent woman in her own life.
Right.
She's like, I'm gonna put, you know what, that little 200 that she was gonna spend on this, I'm gonna throw something else on there and we're gonna go on a bigger trip. We're gonna ball out. Like, this is my wife.
Right.
Like, I don't know about y'all, but I like having a wife that's like, that's cool, you can do that. The house we live in, thank God, in Hidden Hills, nice house.
Right.
Whatever millions. We could have had a nice house on my 50% too.
Right.
It'd been nice.
Right.
She was like, no, let me put something else on and let us live a little different.
Oh, yeah, they got a little bigger.
So we probably share 3 things in our life that we 50-50 on.
Right.
Everything else, I'm 1,000%. And she's 1,000%.
Right.
It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, bitch. You better work. You know, you gonna sleep in? You know, somebody might not eat. Come on, you gotta work. And it's hard. It's hard to let that go.
A few moments later.
I famously said 50-50 or bust, right? And I meant that financially, spiritually, emotionally. And there's just a lot of days that I have 10% and I need him to be 90. There's days I don't have shit and I need him to be 100. It's a trauma response. And 50-50 is, I'm not going to be vulnerable enough to trust you with 100% of anything, not my heart, not my cash. And when I started to really address that, and I was like, do you want to pay whole mortgage? I thought I was about to die. I had such anxiety. Like, I was crying, I was shaking. And he was like, you insisted on that. He's like, I thought it made you feel better. I'm like, it did. And right now I want to take it back. Now it sounds crazy to be like, you, Mr. NBA superstar who made a bazillion more amount of money than I do, can pay the mortgage, because I hate the feeling of releasing that to someone. And you release that to someone, chaos can happen. And it's brought us closer, because he knows it's not about whether he can afford it. It's being vulnerable enough to be open enough to know that I'm okay. I'm okay as his wife. He's okay as my husband. I'm okay in this family. I'm okay in this home. I deserve it. And so I'm trying to expand my heart, expand all of the notions of what vulnerability can look like.
As you heal, as you evolve, as you lean more into vulnerability, you can also change how you feel about something, and it's okay. Sometimes when we build those walls up for safety or to keep what we think is harm out, we can also keep love out too.
Now, this is exactly what I mean when I say women change emotionally every so often. So as a man, you thought you married this type of woman only to realize emotionally she done changed into this type of woman. And it's funny because there are a bunch of men out there who thinks because a woman got a high paying job, she's different to a woman who's working in customer service. No, brother. They are all the same. A woman's financial position don't really benefit a man in no way. That's why it's best to just be a provider and don't do the 50-50 thing, because it's a trap. That's how some women use. That's a tool some women use to find a sucker. They go, I'll go 50-50. And then they put you in a trap. Now you marry her. So now, even if you want to walk away, even if you want to get a divorce, you still probably got to give her half. But what is so sad about this situation, fellas, and this is what I always tell you all dudes, the only time you truly know how a woman feels about you is when you're down. This is what she said right after Dwayne Wade been through this.
To find out, obviously, at 41 years old, pretty healthy guy, that I did have cancer. Thank God that I did do the surgery. Right. Because the tumor was cancerous. So I have one kidney and I have another kidney that is 60%. They took 40% of my kidney to make sure that they can get all the cancer off of it. Right? Because if it sits there on your kidney, now it spreads. Now they got to take more and more. My own journey to have that surgery, I think it was the first time my family, my dad, my kids, they saw me weak. That moment was probably the weakest point I've ever felt in my life. The moments that I was by myself, I was struggling, dog. As a man, you never want your family to see you weak.
It's tough.
Don't want to be perceived weak, and you don't want to be seen in your weak moments.
Right.
But I had to. What I saw in the midst of that and me going through my illness, I saw my family who may not always talk, may not always agree. I saw everybody show up for me and be there for me. And in that process of my weakness, I found strength in my family.
Gabrielle, Lucy V wants to know why Dwayne decided to share that you had a hard 9th year of marriage on Instagram.
Did he?
And, yeah. And what changes have you two made to strengthen your relationship in year 10?
I mean, year 9. Well, because he talked about having cancer, kidney cancer.
Yeah.
And you don't really understand the impact of a diagnosis like that on the family, on your marriage, and your lives. And it changes everything. And we each had to figure out how to give grace and how to receive it at the same time, which neither of us had been very good at before. Yeah.
How's he doing?
Good now.
Good.
I mean, shirt off, so that's how you know he's great.
There you go.
Lives to be naked. No, he's good and clean bill of health.
This is why a man has to be very selective when it comes to choosing a wife. That's why you always want to choose a wife who loves you for you. Your money can't save you in these situations, because in a situation like this, you need support. That's the most important thing a man needs in a time like this. You need someone who's going to be there for you morally, mentally, and also physically. And it takes a woman who really cares about you to stand by your side when you're going through what D. Wade is going through. However, his wife, all of a sudden, when he's down at this time, when he's trying to rebuild himself, when he's trying to recover, all of a sudden, she no longer wants 50-50.
And 50-50 is, I'm not going to be vulnerable enough to trust you with 100% of anything. Not my heart, not my cash.
Sad, bro. And D. Wade did respond, and this is what he said about it.
There's a topic I know you want to talk about. Let's talk about
Yes, so it's this topic that's been buzzing in.
Yeah.
I can't say it's been buzzing in my house.
But it's been buzzing about your house.
It's been buzzing about our house. And so my wife came out and talked about how we split things 50-50 in our home.
Yeah.
And so it became a big conversation about, men and women who splits 50-50, who pays the bills and all these things. And then she recently came out and she said that she's in her soft era now, that she don't want to do 50-50 anymore. And I'm the kind of person, Jenna, that when my wife came to me and, we had a conversation about not everything 50-50, but, buying our house together, doing certain things for our family together in a 50-50 situation, I was like, sure, baby.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do. And if she come to me and she say, I don't want to do it, I'm like, sure, baby. If that's what you want to do. Now, the house may be a little smaller.
Yeah.
If we just going off my salary.
Yeah.
But it's all good. What about you?
Wait, hold on. But then we have to watch this clip because we want to hear what her talking about it. Let's listen real quick.
I famously said 50-50 or bust, right? And I meant that financially, spiritually, emotionally. And there's just a lot of days that I have 10% and I need him to be 90. There's days I don't and I need him to be 100. It's brought us closer because he knows it's not about whether he can afford it. It's being vulnerable enough to be open enough to know that I'm okay. I'm okay as his wife. He's okay as my husband. I'm okay in this family. I'm okay in this home. I deserve it. And so I'm trying to expand my heart, expand all of the notions of what vulnerability can look like.
All right. So she's in her soft era.
She's in her soft era. And I understand when we moved from Miami, we moved to LA, that's when we went to 50-50. And not in all things, everybody. Like I pay for a lot of things, but in the big things. And a lot of it is my wife has went out and she's been working on her entire life since she was 19 years old for her own things. And so, we kind of had a conversation. She was like, well, I can pay that. And I was like, well, do your thing then. What about you? You and Harry had these conversations about 50-50?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we got married, we were like, this is us, and we definitely You know, I'm like, I can't think exactly. And one of my biggest things is like, you don't want tit for tat in marriage.
No.
You know, and I know y'all don't either. So it's not like, hey, I paid for that, you pay for this. It's never like that. It's sort of like all one thing, one family. We all got each other, you know, and it sounds like that's what Gabby's saying too. It's like she feels so safe in y'all's marriage.
Yeah.
Now that she doesn't need to like put up any, you know, guardrails.
Yeah, but you also had to, I had to allow her to come to that herself. Like when she wanted to do 50-50, I'm not, do your thing, boo-boo.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
By
get
the
in
way,
your
that's
way.
why y'all have a happy marriage, because you know that slogan, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I always tell my kids, I mean, this is like the fact that I get my advice from memes on Instagram is everything.
I
But
think
this
we all
is
do
the
now.
advice. It says, marry somebody funny and make your own money.
There you go.
You know,
and you're making
some-
your own money.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am.
You are.
And my kids better too.
Look, long story short, I hope D Wade got a prenup. Because if he don't, he might be in some trouble. Because here's the reality. His wife wants to be in her soft girl era now. So let's say Wade is making 60% of the income and his wife is making 40. And they got a little 50-50 situation. So now she want Wade to pay all the bills, right? So let's say Wade got to use at least 40% of his income on bills. And she gets to keep her 40% and D Wade is only left with 20%. What's going to happen is her income is going to keep rising. It's going to keep rising. And look, by the way, I don't believe in a 50-50. But if I'm with a woman and she's making more money than me after we are finished paying the bills, I'm going to have a problem with that. Because we are in this shit together. Why do you need to stack your money? To do what? And that's what I be saying, bro. These women be showing y'all how they feel about y'all by their actions. When a woman is saying, yo, I'm tired of paying the mortgage, man. I'm trying to stack my money. Bro, you should already be prepared as far as what's going to happen next. The fact that all of a sudden she had to change her heart when you were at your lowest point, bro. When you was down and out. Right after you overcome that shit. This is what she put on you, fam. And the sad part about it is this. D Wade is saying, yo, we are going to have to downgrade because I can't afford to pay all those expenses. Facts. But the problem is, his wife is looking at him like he's an NBA player. He's making all that money. She ain't trying to downgrade. So if you downgrade, guess what? She's not going to be happy. And once a woman is not happy, she's going to want out. And keep in mind, she's trying to stack her bread. She's trying to stack her money while she wants this man to have less money. Like, what? Ain't y'all married? What is she stacking her money to do? It's supposed to go right back into the family. But again, fellas, you got to pay attention to a woman's actions. Look, the bottom line is this, fellas. It just goes to show, bro. It don't matter if you choose a woman who is making a lot of money or you choose a woman who's working at customer service. It's best to get you a woman that's going to be able to support you and help you grow as a man. That's the bottom line. Stop trying to choose these. Oh, she got a great career. Oh, she's an actress. Oh, she's this, she's that. When you missed out on a woman who would have been able to support you at your lowest point. As men, we got to be wise out here, man. This right here, side fellas, learn from this. Learn that 50-50, when a woman raises her hand and say, yo, I'll go 50-50, that's a trap. Because your dumbass will think, oh, wow, I got me a good woman. She's willing to go half in the bills. Let me marry her. Then once you do that, it's like she won. And then she wait a few years. All right, the time is now. I'm tired of this 50-50 shit. I need you to take care of me. I need princess treatment. And if I don't, we are going to get a divorce. That's what it sounds like to me, man. Fellas, be wise out here. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. It's your boy AyeQ. I'm out.
Okay, I'm showing up for you. I'm giving you my energy. I am in your presence. You should pay for this.
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. You all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch.